Welcome back. This is the last option, uh, domain controller backup. This time we're going to back up to Azure subscription. I have a bare naked Azure subscription with nothing on it, so we're just going to start from the beginning. First, we're going to create a resource group. So it's like a container or kind of like a folder. Keep stuff together. Give it a name. If you start from RG, which is a standard, stands for resource group. I call it production. I don't know why, but it's pretty. Tag it if if you want to, if you don't remember a couple months from now what this was for, we can just, this is going to be helpful. So I'm putting purpose and demo and create. That's simple. Go into that resource group, and next thing we're going to create a storage area for my backup. It has to be secure. So I'm going into recovery services vault. I'm going to create my vault specifically for this task. Click on create, put it in the same resource group you just created. Make sure region is the same, which is East US. Give it a name. You're on local redundancy, which means in the same data center, or geo redundancy. Okay, this this option is not available here. That doesn't mean public, doesn't mean from outside. It means from VNets or network inside. But since I don't have any networks, it's irrelevant. Same thing, tagging for um, recovery vault. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. I think I went back. That's okay. This is an important step. If there are any issues or info is missing, it will be listed. Click on create. Remember, anything you create in Azure costs money. So be mindful when you do these things in Azure. It really depends on if you work for a nonprofit. Well, money is always tight. If you work for the company that has a lot of money, then it doesn't matter. Cloud is a wonderful tool, but it costs a lot of money. Okay, it's deploying. All right, done. All right, if you've never used recovery before, Recovery Vault, click around, check it out. Let's do the backup. So you click on backup. I want to back up my on-premises domain controller to Azure subscription. I only want to back up system state because I don't want to wait forever. It takes time. And then click on prepare infrastructure. And at this point, I'm supposed to download the agents, but the agents must be downloaded and installed on my domain controller that will be backed up. So either go into your domain controller and repeat those steps, or just download the agent and move it somehow to your VM. I'm picking the first option. I'm going to go into my domain controller, log into portal.azure.com, and create I download the agents, install them, and configure the backup. All right, I'm in my domain controller. I'm going to back up. We're going to do the same thing we did a second ago. I want to back up my domain controller that's on premises. to Azure. So click on System State. Okay, same thing. Click on it one more time, and then click on Download Agent. It's called Mars Agent. In case there's another option. Just we're using Mars. It says right there, Microsoft Azure Recovery Services, Mars. Install it. Just follow instructions. Pretty simple. Nope. Unless you want, it's your choice. You need these two, .NET Framework and PowerShell installed. Okay, we do the registration now. You need to register your domain controller and your agent with Azure. You need credentials. You need to download them. Underneath this window is like a little checkbox. It says Download Vault Credentials. Click on it, download, and then point to the file. Yes. Just remember where you download it. Now click on Browse, browse to that file you just downloaded. And you're good to go. Next. Follow instructions. Type in your password, minimum 16 characters. I am not saving to any vault, key vault. I'm just going to save a file and save it outside of Azure. Read instructions. And now it's asking me, what would you like to save your credentials? It's the file that I'm going to have to grab and save somewhere else. And now we're registering domain controller and agents with my vault. Done. As always, there's a warning from Microsoft. Okay, that's done. Next step, we have to create a schedule before we can take our first backup. Click on Add Items. What would you like to back up? Just system state. I'm selecting both, but I'm actually going to back up system state. For scheduled backups, both will be backed up. For manual backup, I'll be able to select one of these things. Exceptions, if you have any. Okay. And now you have to decide whether you want to back up daily or weekly. I think the main controller makes sense to back up daily. Don't go too far in terms of retention because it's a domain controller. There's a tombstone. You have to make sure at what point your server is no longer um, valid. If it exceeds the tombstone period, then you cannot reuse it. It makes no sense to restore it. You can do it 3 times a day if you want to. It really depends on your situation. Once you set that up, pick the online version because we're going to be sending um, data will be sent online. There are other options if you're interested, but I'm going to use online for this demo. Next. Okay, and I'm going to use system state. It's creating my schedule. So the schedule, once schedule is created, I can take my first backup if I want to, or I can just do nothing and wait until the scheduled backup kicks in. Okay. Now on the right-hand side, you have a new option. It says Backup Now. Click on it. Now, what would you like to back up? One of these things. I'm using system state. And the backup just started. It's going to take a long time. Mine took a couple hours. But that's pretty much all you have to do. Just babysit the backup if you want to make sure there are no error messages. You're going to see them in the end anyways. But if you're interested and see all the steps involved in completing the backup, that's how you do it. So first it's going to it's going to do all kinds of preparations. It will get the data and then start transferring data to the cloud. Your VM has to be up and running, of course. It has to be connected. And that's pretty much it. As soon as it's done transferring data, you're going to see a message that backup was successful. And then we can start restoring um, from I'm actually next 3 videos I'm going to start restoring using each method. So manually from the second dedicated drive. Second is going to be backup from restore from Druva, and the final one will be restoring from Azure. I'll let you decide which one you think is better. Please subscribe and have a nice day.